Hello, and welcome to the Metro MLS webinar review of saved searches in FlexMLS. So in this webinar, we'll review what a saved search is, how you can perform one, and what you can do with them. So let's begin. So a saved search is a search that you create and save that does not belong to a contact. You can use these searches for any purposes, as maybe your own personal hot sheet. Maybe you use it as a template for other searches. For example, you get a lot of requests for searches in that area. You just make your little tweaks and then you can save it to a contact but with a different name, but you still retain the template search. So we'll go ahead and get started and see what that is about. Alright, so to access Saved Search, you click on your menu button, and then underneath the search section you click on Saved Search. Or if you've got it up here in your shortcut bar, you can click it up there. Alright, so this will bring me to my Show My Saved Searches screen. So I can create my search from this screen, but I just kind of wanted to show you where you would go to access them once you've got them saved. So here it'll show my saved searches. So these are the searches that I have saved to my account. It'll also save draft searches if you have that feature turned on. To check to see if you have drafts saved, the feature for it turned on, just click on this button up here. It should have your name or your initials, and then you'll have a little box there, use drafts and recents, and make sure that's selected so it'll save up to the last 5 draft searches that you did. That's just in case if you get distracted or you kick the cord out of the wall or something like that. Alright, so here you can create a new saved search, or you can create it from any of the search engines: Full Search, Map Search, Quick Search. You can edit an existing search from here. So if you've created one and you want to make edits to it, that's what the button is for there. If you want to delete a particular search, you'll have a remove button down here. So I'm just going to create a search like typical. So usually when I create a search, I just run through Full Search. That's what I'm most familiar with. Alright, so I'll pick a property type that I want to create the saved search for. So I'm going to do condominium. Let's say I want to do active and delayed, and I'll hit next. I'll choose whatever I want to include on that search. Any parameters that I want to include on that search, I'm going to put that in. So I'm going to do Milwaukee for my county. I'm going to do, let's say I want to do 2 to 3 bedrooms. At least 1.5 bath. I'm going to leave my price open because I don't really care about that. And 2 garage spaces. And then I want to do it for a particular zip code. So I'm just going to go to the address school tab here. And then I'm going to enter in the zip code that I want to search for those condos on. So I'm going to do the 53212 zip code. And I'm also going to do the 53202. 53202. Alright, so I've got 2 zip codes in there. Alright, so at this point in time, I'm just going to save this search. I don't really care about seeing the properties in it at this moment. So I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to click on Save. Or if you want to look at them first, you can, and you can click Save from the search results screen. It's totally up to you. So I'm just going to do Save up here. And then I'm going to give this search a name. So I'm just going to call it Condos 53202, comma 53212. And then if I want to add some notes in here, 2 to 3 bedroom and 1.5 bath, just a 2 car, and then I'll just hit finish. So when you hit finish, it brings you here to Show My Saved Searches. So there's my condo search. It's not attached to anybody. I can do whatever I want to with this search. Okay? So here when I select the search, over here you've got some options. It'll show you the search parameters that you included. If you put in a description, you can. You can hit View Totals and see the information for the entire, what's in the search at this moment in time, what was updated in the last 24 hours, the View New since a month back, so you'll get this month created going back a month, and then the reset time and View New since. Now this link will allow you to use this search as a hot sheet. So to avoid from you recreating the wheel and doing the search fresh all the time, if this is something that you'd like to check on periodically, you can. So by me clicking this reset time and view new since, that will reset that timestamp. So if I come in here tomorrow, 3 days from now, a couple weeks from now, a month from now, it will pick it up from this time that it is right now. So I don't have any gap. So if I come back to menu and save search and I highlight that search, when I hit this view totals here, okay, you see that's 0? That's because the timestamp is today's date from the time that it is now. So the next time you come in here to run this search to check on it as a hot sheet, it will pick up from the very last time that you left off. And you'll be able to see those numbers. So this is one of the uses that you can use it as a personal hot sheet. If you wanted to track specific triggers, you can do that. That was in the save search screen. So I'm just going to view all on this. And I'm just going to go back to save. So those triggers you can track here, clicking on additional search options. We're not attaching this to a contact at this time, but anything that you want to define as a new listing for this search, you can select those options down here. You can also change the time range. The default for a new listing is 24 hours. You can change this to whatever number that you want, and then you can use minutes, hours, days, or months. It's totally up to you. Okay, and if you make any changes here, make sure you hit save. All right. Now, let's say this is a particular search that you use as a template. Maybe you get asked a lot to search this particular property type, this particular zip code or whatever, but you just make little tweaks in it like the price or, you know, beds, baths, whatever. How you can use this search as a template, so basically the search that you would create that you make tweaks to, you can save that to a contact, but you can still keep this here. So I'll show you how to do that. So let me go back in to save search. I'm just going to use my little shortcut bar here. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to hit edit. All right, so say this person that's looking, they have a price range that they want. So let's say they were looking for like 115 to 150. That's the price range that they want. There's nothing available there, but that's okay. Let's say 1 bathroom is okay for them. They're okay with 1 bathroom. And they're okay with 1 car garage. But they still want the zip code. Okay. Anything else that you can add here, you tweak it to whatever you want. All right. So now that you've tweaked the search to customize it for a customer, we're going to come up here and we're going to go to save. Here it sees it as an existing search, but we're going to tweak, because we tweaked this search, we need to create it as a new search for our customer. So this is very important because a lot of you guys forget that. Switch this button from existing to new and give that search a new name. I'm just going to call it contact search, just so you can see that. All right. Then you can click on additional search options. For contact, this is where you can attach it to your contact. So if your contact already exists in your contact management module, you just pop a check in existing and then just type in the first few letters of the customer's name. You can select that. So now we're attaching this new tweaked condo search, contact search, to our customer, home, or buyer. Okay, so now we're going to add the subscription. We're setting them up on the automatic email. So I'm just going to pick some stuff here. All right, so there we are. So then we'll leave it at weekly, and I'm just going to put search here, and then I'll just go to the bottom and I'll hit save. All right, so now that search, that saved search that we used as a template to tweak and create a new search, that's still there. So if I go back and save searches, it's still there. The difference was when I opened it up and I made the edits to it, when I saved it as a new search. So I gave it a brand new name and then I attached it to a customer and they're gone. So now I still have my template search sitting here, so it didn't change any of that stuff there. It's all the same basic templates. This works really well if you do map area searches. You've drawn some intricate map shapes in some searches and you like to keep it that way. This works well for that too. Another place where you can use save search is in the hot sheets function. So I'm going to show you that. We'll click on the menu button. Once this is open up, we're going to go to My Market and we're going to click on Hot Sheet. So you can also run it as a hot sheet in here for the custom hot sheet. All right, so I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to click on this button, this link, Custom Hot Sheet Settings. So here's your saved searches. These are your saved searches that aren't attached to anybody, that you can use them as hot sheets. So like where I showed you, you could run it from the Save Search screen where it'll pick it up from the last time that you ran it. Let's say you wanted to backdate it a little bit further. You needed to adjust the dates to go back further. Okay, so here you can backdate it for a maximum up to 45 days. All right, so let's say I wanted to go back to the beginning of the year on this search. So I'm going to choose my date range that I want, so January 1st. Okay, and then I'll leave it as today's date. I'm going to do my start time at midnight because that's the beginning of every day. All right, leave it at the end time there. It can't give you anything that hasn't happened yet. So once I've filled in these two, maybe I want to see what came in new during this time period as brand new listings for that search criteria, those condos and those 2 zip codes. So I can come over here and then I can edit the event. So I want to see new listings that match from the beginning of the year to today's date, beginning time, end time for my condos in this zip code. Now I'm going to click Run Save Search Hot Sheet. So now it is showing me those listings. There were 11 new listings for condos that match that search criteria since the beginning of this year. So that's how you can tweak the dates if you need to backdate it a little bit further than the last time that you ran it. 45 days maximum doing that. Okay? All right, let's go back over into Save Search. Okay, so that's just a few of the reasons that you can use a Save Search. If, let's say, you decided that, you saved a search, you're like, you know what, I want to attach that to a customer. I don't need this anymore. I'm just going to put that on a customer. You can attach any saved search to a contact by going into Contact Management, selecting that customer. Once their details box pops up, go to Searches Subscription. Underneath the Searches box, you click on Add. When this box pops up, Attach Save Search, this is where you can select that search and then click Attach Search. This search is no longer in Save Searches. It's attached to this customer. So now that it's here, if I wanted to set it up on a subscription, I can. So now if I go back to Save Search, that search is no longer there. If you did it on accident, it's like, whoops, didn't mean to do that. You can go back into that contact, go back to their Searches Subscription links, make sure you select that search, click Remove, and then Contact Only. This removes it only from that contact. This button takes it out of the system and we can't get it back for you. So if I do Contact Only, it's gone from the contact. I'll close this and then go back up here to Save Search. And there it is, back right here. All right. So this will conclude our webinar for saved searches in FlexMLS.